You are listening to
Marty and the Breaux.
We should take a moment and talk about quote unquote progressive media, because that actually relates to you and I. And we both started, were watching the Young Turks. The Young Turks is the largest online media show in the world.
Not just watching, man. I want to disclaimer that, right? You know what I'm saying? I think we should, we met through the Young Turks, basically, right?
Kind of, yeah, we
man.
did.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't through the Young Turks. It was, and I do want to talk about the progressive media and where they sit in the media landscape and why they are also somewhat problematic, because they've become, why they're problematic. But before doing that, I definitely want to, for people who don't know the Young Turks, they are, in my mind, a vital source of fact-based information and commentary around the truth that you're not going to find in other sources. So I definitely want to give them props for what they do. And I know that you'll have some things to say about what they're not doing that they should be doing, which is important. But Cenk Uygur is the guy that started the Young Turks. And, I look at that guy as being a true legend. He's one of the legends, right? Because he had this idea. He identified money in politics as being the key issue that has to be solved. And not only that, he did something about it. He organized an organization called Wolfpack, and the mission of Wolfpack is to try to pass bills and get money out of politics. So
and
when you and I heard about this,
I was gonna say specifically, that's how we met through. I started watching the Young Turks because admittedly, Young Turks was a big part of my political awakening. At least I call it the YouTube rabbit hole. You start off with conspiracy theories, and if you stay with it long enough, you start getting into some actual facts and stuff, right? And if you stay with it deeper, then you get into real facts, and then you stay with it deeper, you just get depressed because you're just like, there's no point. Anyway, but yeah. So I got to the point of actually looking up. I made it to the Young Turks, and this is around the time where I'm watching them faithfully, and learning with Larry Lessig was running for president, trying to get money out of politics and all that good stuff. And I joined Wolfpack, and that's how we met, right? Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Wolfpack.
So definitely and even Marty and the Breaux, the organization has, on the team are other people that we met through Wolfpack too, all good people, great people. So what Cenk Uygur started as a thought, however many years ago, really, I kind of see him as the mighty oak that spread, that dropped its acorns around.
All right now. Pause, Marty. Pause.
Hear me out. I see Cenk Uygur as a little bit of a legend. He's a mighty oak, and he's a good faith actor. The acorns that dropped from that tree and grew up around the country was Wolfpack, Texas, and that's where you and I started. Now, hopefully, we're going to be Marty and the Breaux, and you and your involvement are talking about these issues is going to spawn the next generation of activism towards the issues that we think are important and we're going to bring attention to, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a cascading. It's a cascading hierarchy, you might say. That
we gave the man enough roses, man. All right, oh Jesus, man.
All right, so now let's tear him down.
But if you don't mind, right? Man. No, it's I genuinely, man, like the TyT does have a special place in my heart for those specific reasons you have raised. But admittedly, maybe I'm way too pretentious now and feel like I know too much, but watching them is so much more hard than, and you know what? I think maybe they changed. Maybe I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's different, bro. It's just different. They don't.
I can't watch them anymore either. By the way,
it's
but
right.
It's not a whole different read. there's a whole different set of reasons that for me that are different.
But they don't do news like there's no meat on them bones mostly, man, when I watch them, right? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing really. It's mostly Trump, and there's nothing of substance, you know. Rarely is there some, you know, stories of substance. It's always just, you know, that thing of the day. There was a point in time where there was like, you know, interesting, they pull some stuff, you know, a story from years ago. It's like, hey, look at it, you know, about this fact. Let you know this. That was interesting, right? You know, so, I didn't know that. I love stuff like this is YouTube. It's what we do. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gotta tell me about everything that's happening during the day. Like, you know, like especially, you know, your audience is probably, you know, well learned at this point. I'm not saying you don't chase don't chase those daily news stories because a lot of them are stupid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know what I think about it. Yeah, screw Twitter. I don't care who said what. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's why I recommend places like, you know, like Democracy at Work Institute, where they, you know, go into long exposés, they really challenge the way you think, or like, you know, like they offer solutions to problems instead of like, this happened and it was sucked, didn't it? And our politicians aren't going to do anything because they're all sucked. And it's just like, yeah, well, okay, but I don't know.
How does that help?
Like, yeah, it's so stupid. You know, like it's so hard to watch now, man. And I feel like it was different at one point, and you know.
Well, like now they've become, as you termed, controlled opposition.
They're controlled opposition, man, and a lot of progressive, like saying, a lot of progressive media. And you know what? Let's rip the Band-Aid off, man. There's a lot of media I love, you know what I mean, and I think is way more helpful than TYT. And I'm not saying TYT's not helpful. Right now they're not, but you know, it's, you know, there's right now
they do play a role. They do play an important role, I think. But
they're way too close to mainstream media right now for my taste personally, right? Does that make sense? They kind of cover the same stories. It's like you know, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But you know, I want to go even further to the left on them, right? You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, like on my spectrum, they're kind of center to me. Like they're, you know, and actually it's true. I think if you look at the world, you know, like TYT, their views are pretty center, you know, and the political spectrum when it comes to the planet, you know what I mean? So like in most places, so, you know, that's really accurate, to be honest with you. That's, you know, I think they would even agree with that statement, right? But anyway,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You know, they're not, yeah.
Like one thing that one example to talk about, a specific example, like on TYT, like you and I we've talked about reparations. We know it's something that we've given some thought to, and reparations, if you step back objectively, you look at all the facts, you lay it all out there, reparations absolutely should be, at the very least, a major part of our national conversation until we actually execute some sort of action that addresses the issues that reparations are intended to address. That's just a fact. But TYT, for example, they would talk about reparations and be like, well, you know, I don't know. Some people say this. They are, again, being, even themselves, as progressive as they may be, they are neutral to that fact. The fact is that reparations are owed. They do belong in the conversation, but even somebody like TYT, who is supposedly really left-leaning, would be very hesitant to talk about reparations on those terms.
I have a real radical view on reparations. I think we deserve reparations. We're owed reparations. I don't think we'll ever get reparations, and for a specific reason. Not just white people don't want us to have reparations. I don't think any group in America believes black people should have reparations. I stand firm on that. Hispanics, white people, Asians. I think if you were to poll all of them, I think everybody would. I think a majority of people would say no, don't give black people reparations. I'm sorry, and I don't think people realize how racist most of the world is against black people. But that's neither here nor there either, right? You know what I'm saying? So in every group, even in Mexico, in South America, they discriminate against darker Hispanics down there, right? You know what I'm saying? Or darker, South Americans, right? It's there's racism everywhere, China, wherever. You know what I mean? Black people are, it's that supremacy did get worldwide, global, right? So I think that's
and it's gone on for 1,000 years,
exactly,
probably, or at least 400 years for sure.
Ridiculous amount of time, right? So, and that's just, I don't think reparations is gonna happen. But that's there's other ways. That's why but it's where we're getting to in another podcast. We'll get into it, right? You know what I mean? Like there's
for sure.
There's some smarter strategies in my opinion, and than ask people for stuff that ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Yo, you like what you just saw? Make sure you like, share, subscribe so the algorithms can algorithm or whatever sorcery they do. Follow us on our socials, links all down in the description, and let's keep rocking.